Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back with a video. Hope you're well wherever you are. And as ever, I'll try not to waffle, so please forgive me if I do. I'll try and keep the intro short and sweet. So I hope Milan fans especially will love this video, and I'd love to hear whatever your thoughts are. And I'd love to know what you think are the best ways to help the club, AC Milan. I assume this video will be obviously most interesting for AC Milan fans themselves. I imagine. I hope so anyway. But yeah, I'd be grateful if other people enjoy it. As I often say, I'd love to get people who are not interested in football to be interested in football and to promote the brand and promote football around the world. Anyway, so please check out part one if you haven't done so, and I'll try and crack on with the video. As I say, I don't want to waffle too much if I can help it. So number 11, I would love to hear what you would like to change about the club. What you think, like for instance, what you think the club could do better, how you think it could be run better, what sort of players you would like to see. I think that's one thing I forgot to say in part one. I talked about what manager you would like to see and what coach you would like to see, but I would love to hear what sort of players you would like to see. So I suppose this is a two-part question. What do you think the club could do to improve, like what it could change? Obviously, it has to change if it's going to improve. If there's any areas where you think it's weak or could just improve in generally or get even better at, obviously. Which I'm sure is the goal, and also what players you would love to see at the club. Number 12, do you think the club should do things in the community or even around the world, in Italy itself, in Milan and Italy itself, and around the world, especially in developing countries, for like to raise awareness of mental health problems? So do you think the club should do more to do that, to do with that sort of thing, and just generally have ethical values? And also, how do you think the club could market itself better around the world so it could attract more fans and things like that? Number 13, I would love to hear from AC Milan fans about why the club is nicknamed the Devils. Like, where did that nickname come from? And I think it'd be interesting. And I'd love to hear what you think. And as I'm talking about questions, do you think it would be interesting if AC Milan had like friendly competitions with Man United, because they're also called the Devils as a nickname, and also with like have tournaments in Belgium because they're also called the Red Devils, their national team, and maybe AC Milan and Man United could be invited to tournaments in Belgium, or Belgian teams could also be invited to Old Trafford and to Milan, respectively, in tournaments, just for a little bit of fun, like the Devils tournament or something like that, for a little bit of that. Obviously, not to be taken too literally, hopefully, but so I'd love to hear what you think about that idea, and also I'd love to hear what you. I know I'm asking it in two-part questions, but yeah, why are they called the Devils? Number 14. Another thing I forgot to mention in part one, or to ask in part one, is I often think of this idea, Hull in the UK. I'm not sure what the official name is, but I think it's Hull City. But I think the owners of Indian origin changed the name of Hull to Hull City Tigers, and a lot of the fans there really were unhappy with changing the name, and like they talk about the culture and that sort of thing. So I wonder what Milan fans would think if the name AC Milan was became like Apple Milan, Apple Calcio Milan, as it's as its Association Calcio Milan, if I pronounce that right. If it became Apple Calcio Milan or Amazon Calcio Milan or Alibaba Calcio Milan, but maybe those could be just nicknames, but it wouldn't change too much of the history. And I wonder also if you would be offended if they changed the logo or things like that. So maybe it'd be good if any investors or owners, sponsors, any new shareholders or co-owners or investors generally, or sponsors or whatnot, or anyone who did that sort of thing in the club, if they consulted with fans and had discussions with fans about like sort of what sort of logo the fans would like. Maybe even the fans could help to design the logo or any nicknames the club has or things like that. So I'd love to hear what you think about that. I hope that makes sense. So basically, as I say, the fans could discuss with the club or vice versa or both together to have that synergy communication where they talk about what sort of logos and nicknames or whatever the fans would like to see, so that it's not obviously just the club putting that onto the fans. The fans also talk about what sort of things they want to see, the history, how they want to see it represented, and things like that. Number 15. On the subject of investment into AC Milan, how do you think the club could attract more investors? And again, I'd love to hear your goals about what sort of goals you have for the club, your views on what, or your your goals, basically, or anything you want to comment, basically, in the comment section. But I'd love to hear. So basically, as a question, what would your goals be for the next 5 to 10 years, or what would your dreams even be for the next 5 to 10 years for the club, like to win the Champions League, to win the World Club Cup? As I mentioned in part one again, as a fan of Italian football generally, I would love to see the club win the Champions League or even the World Club Cup and even the Super Cup in the near future as soon as possible. Maybe even do it multiple times and sort of compete with teams like Real Madrid. In the history, we're second only to Real Madrid, so I think it'd be great to see us compete with Real Madrid. And they're the type of teams I think we should be looking to aspire to become even more like. Number 16, what do you think are the best actions the club could take to market itself, to attract itself to fans, potential fans, investors, or things like that? What do you think generally is best for the club going forward? Like, what do you think the best steps the club could take? Number 17, do you think the club should do stuff? As I said, I talked about mental health awareness, but do you think the club should do more to raise awareness about like anti-bullying generally, and how to have sympathy and compassion and empathy for each other, and also like things like dyslexia and ADHD awareness, or disability awareness generally, physical, mental, and cerebral learning disability awareness? Do you think the club should do more on those sorts of ethical issues? Number 18, how do you think the club could make the world a better place? Like in terms of, I assume like investing in charity would be one thing, but even things like raising awareness and not just putting money into issues, but also taking those time for those issues. And and do you think that could be a mutual benefit for the club as well? Because if it helps those causes, obviously it'll make the club look better, and that can improve the brand value. For me, also an important thing, as well as making the world a better place, or I should probably say the opposite order, selfish sort of idea of me would be to see Italian teams do well, as well as making the world a better place. Symbolically, I put it in that order, like number one, looking after number one. But yeah, number 19, what do you think the club could achieve in the next 5 to 10 years? And number 20, what other thoughts do you have? Like anything you want to comment in the comment section, please comment. Any sort of anything that you want to comment, that basically generally. I know that's not quite a question, but yeah. So if there's anything, I'll put it as a question. Is there anything else you would like to comment? If so, please leave it in the comment section below. And also, I'll say, other fans are welcome, but obviously, I imagine mostly AC Milan fans would want to share or want to watch these videos and share their views. But if you do share the videos with any of my AC Milan videos with any fellow Italian fans, especially Milan fans, I think it'd be pretty cool. And again, I'd love to hear from Milan fans. And I am out. Peace out.